This is probably going to be an hour-long video. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you all. You watch Citizen Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. This is going to be a short video, I think. But I wanted to just put a message out there for us all. Very important message, a very important message for us all. What you see in front of you is what is happening in a place called Sri Lanka. Many of you would have heard about a place called Sri Lanka. Food prices are high. I'll stream this later on Citizen AY on YouTube. I will stream this later on YouTube. But good morning, good morning, good morning. Here's a song I want you to remember. It's a song I want us all to remember. As Biafrans, as Middle Beltans, as Oduduwa people. Here's a song I want you to remember. The song goes like this. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of it can stop other time. How long must they kill our prophets? Whilst we stand aside and look away. Some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing this song of freedom? Is all I ever hear. Oh yeah, redemption song, redemption song. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of it can stop other time. And how long must they kill our prophets? Whilst we stand aside and look away. Some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing? This song of freedom is all I ever hear. Oh yeah, redemption song, redemption song. This song of freedom is all I ever hear. Oh yeah, yeah, redemption song. Good morning to you all. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Don't worry, later on, those of you on YouTube, if you haven't, you won't be able to watch this now. But I do urge you to please go ahead and subscribe, because we will stream this immediately afterwards. So please, welcome and good morning to you all. Freedom is taken. It is never given. Freedom is taken. It's never given. Go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Click on the subscription button, click on the notification button, give us a thumbs up. Freedom, it is taken, always. It is never given. Now, I want to show you something. I'm probably going to do about an hour quickly of this so that you can get an idea of what is going on. Now, what I want you to understand in all of this is this. Look at what's happening. This is in Sri Lanka, I think about a few days ago. Sri Lankans, they challenge their government because the food prices and everything is really crazy. We're in the same situation. What is also important that I want you to hold on to is what I showed you earlier on. I don't know if you saw that picture. I will come out. Let me just show you the picture, then I will play this video. I want to show you, this is the reason why I'm coming out now. And I want us all to really take this on. Before we go ahead, I would also sing the Yoruba National Anthem, because I really want that. It's very important we get that. So the Yoruba, I'm singing it straight up. I'm going to sing it straight away, because I believe in Yoruba Nation. I believe in the Oduduwa people, and I'm going to sing that, and we need to be doing that. So it goes like this. Iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa, fórílẹ̀ ibi wa, kàgbéga, kàgbéga, kàgbéga fáyé rí. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé bá ti bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́ kájọlá. Ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ni ẹ jẹ́ ká máa lépa, tẹ̀síwájú fọ́pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára. Ọmọ Oòduà dìde, bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. So thank you very much for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. And also, you can also become a member of the of Citizen AY family on YouTube. The links are on YouTube. Go onto it. You see a join button at the top. Click on that and join. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification button. Give us a thumbs up. Thank you. Now, I wanted to show you something quickly. Let me show you what I'm trying to show, what I need to see. Now, I wanted to show you this. Sri Lankan people forced their prime minister to resign. It is time for self-determination. Nigeria is a fraud. I hope you can see that. Let me see if you can see what I'm seeing. I'm going to make sure you can see that bit. I will come back even more. Don't worry. This is the prefix the reason why I'm coming. The Sri Lankan people forced their prime minister. Sorry, this is not a replay, by the way. Sorry. Let me take that off. That was there before. I forgot to take it off. So, it is not a replay. You're watching live. Sorry. Now, quick one. I want you to understand that the Sri Lankan people forced their prime minister to resign. It is time for self-determination. Nigeria is a fraud. And here's why Nigeria is a fraud. And then I'll come back and show you the Sri Lankan riot and protest. Now, excuse me, please. Let me just get this right. So now I want to show you one more thing about this constitution. You see what about to come up now. See there. That is the 1999 constitution. I'll make that smaller so I can put it here so it will fit in. I want you to see it. So that's what you're seeing. So the Federal Republic of Nigeria scheduled to promulgation decree number 24 of 1999. You see, what you call a constitution is a schedule to a promulgation decree, and you are not aware of it, and we are showing you. Let me break that down even more quickly for you, because for those of you who may be asking questions, and I want you to be able to see this. So I'm going to show you what you see. You can see that it says that's showing you the back of the paper, the leaflet of the Constitution. But this is what it is actually all about. That is what should be on the front of every booklet in the hands of everybody, and not what I'm about to show you. What I'm about to show you is a fraud, and I will come back and explain it more, because I've got about an hour before I go ahead and do something else. But I will come back and talk about this. But I wanted to just give you a snippet of what this is about, and I'll just make you to understand again. So look, this is on Citizen AY, and I'm on citizeny.org. Just go there, you'll see it. I want you to go to this place here. You see, I put in there, you can see the word fraudulent 1999 constitution. It is fraudulent because it should actually be called the Schedule to Promulgation Decree number 24 of 1999. Now, let me show you what you would normally see. And I want you to change this in your mind. Briefly, I want to go to it. This is what you would normally see. What you would normally see is Constitution to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I want you to know that in your mind, to understand that that is not the case. It is a lie. It is a lie, and Nigeria is a fraud. Now let me show you. That is what should be, that is what you should be seeing. Now let me move out to the side. You see, they say Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999. It is actually a schedule, a Federal Republic of Nigeria schedule to promulgation decree number 24 of 1999. Many of you would have known that. Let me show you the decree itself. That is what I'm telling you. What this document here, the document that I'm showing you here, is only a schedule. It is only a schedule. Let me show you. Then we'll go back to the main topic, because I just want us to really understand that we've been lied to long enough, and it's time we woke up. And that's why I keep saying, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, cause none of it can stop at the time. How long must they kill our prophets? Whilst we stand aside and look. Whoa! Some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. I want you help to sing this song of freedom is all I ever had. Oh yeah, redemption song. This song of freedom is all I ever had. Oh yeah, redemption song. Now, let me show you the decree itself. I want you to keep. I want us to keep reminding ourselves. So when you see that constitution, I want you to know this is where this is. It is not a constitution. What they call a constitution is a promulgation decree. It says so here. It says, I want you to know, it says here, and I'm bringing that to your attention. I will always show this, and I'll come back and break it down. Let me just see that you're seeing what I'm saying. I want to just bring this to your attention because it's very important. Now it says here, I want you, this line is important. It says here, wherever it may hereafter be necessary for the Constitution. Now, in that word Constitution, understand that it is actually a schedule. So it should be necessary for the schedule to be printed. It shall be lawful for the printer of the government, federal government, to omit all parts of this decree apart from the schedule. And the schedule, as so printed, shall have the same force of law as the Constitution, notwithstanding the omission. I'm going to write that up. So I want you to understand that what you are looking at, the reason I'm showing this, so that we all understand that it's a fraud. And then it says here, this decree may be cited as the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So you know that this is a schedule. So I'm going to reward it and put it out there. I will show you how we should do it. So the document that you are looking at, many of us have looked at this document here, that we have looked at and believed to be a constitution, is actually a schedule to a promulgation decree number 24 of 1999. I kid you not. And I'm training to bring this to you in as many times as possible. I will never tire of speaking about this. So I want you all to be aware, this is a fraud. Please, those of you on Facebook, they've switched off our notifications. If you want to get notifications when I come live, you have to go to your notification button and switch it on. There's a small bell at the bottom of each of the broadcasts. To the right, I believe it is. Click on that, and a drop-down button will come up. You click on the notification, and anytime I come live, I will come live. Somebody somewhere, it looks like there's some people who have been going to switch off all of our notifications on many of the agitators for Yoruba Nation, Biafra Nation, Middle Belt. So help us. Please share this podcast. I will restream this on both Oduduwa TV Radio and Citizen AY on Facebook, YouTube later on. But please don't forget, go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Let me show you how you can do that. You go ahead and subscribe. Subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Hit the notification, subscribe, hit the notification button, and then give us a thumbs up. Always go ahead right now and subscribe to us on YouTube. This will be restreamed on YouTube. I'm having one or two issues technically, so I'm having to sort of do it one by one, but that's fine. I'll get that resolved. So here's what I want you to bear in mind. What you are looking at, I'll bring that other picture up. I want you to know in your mind, to understand that it is not a constitution. It is a what? It is a schedule to the Promulgation Decree number 24 of 1999, as stated in this document here. As stated in this document. So what that I will come and rewrite that. It says, whereafter it may hereafter be necessary for the Constitution. No, for the schedule to be printed. That's what it should say. For the schedule to be printed, it shall be lawful for the federal government. They give themselves the law without asking you, the people. And that is why you can no longer support contract in Nigeria. And I want you to understand this. I'm giving you the reasons why we need to break up contract in Nigeria. It's a fraud. It's a fraud. So please share this. Make people know that this is what you are looking at. What you call the Constitution. This one here. What
live.
Constitution is actually a schedule to a promulgation decree. They are lying to you. Nigeria is a fraud. And in that promulgation decree, they also created the so-called Independent National Electoral Commission. It has never been independent. It will never be independent. Please, we need to take collective action. Now, I know many people will not be comfortable with what I'm about to say next. But I want us to know that we have to do. I will talk about the Sri Lankan protest and how it led to the resignation of the Prime Minister. Then let's go ahead and show that. So I will come back to this, but I wanted to show you. This is not the case. What you need to remember is to do this. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do. You need to do this. You see, once you do that, you know that it is not a constitution. It's a schedule. You see, Federal Republic of Nigeria schedule to promulgation decree number 24 of 1999. That is what this document is. It is a schedule, not a constitution. It is a schedule. It is a fraud. It is a fraud. Now, okay, so I'll come back to that later on. So I just wanted to just quickly show that. Let me just bring that down. Not down, but I'm going to. Now let's go back to the business of the day. And this is the decree. What you see here is a decree. Because it says so at the top of the page. Can you see? Let me bring that down, make it bigger. Can you see? Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, promulgation decree. Now, like I said, we the people, until the people sign up to a constitution, it is not a constitution. It is only a proposal. Until we have a referendum about that constitution, it is not a constitution. Until we have a referendum where we pass it into law, it remains a proposal. And in this case, because it's only a proposal, the military are imposing it on us. It is a decree. They said so. And they said, it's not even my words. Their words says that. It says it here. This decree, the constitution as set out in this decree, shall come into force on the 29th of May. It's a decree. They're saying it. It's not me. This decree may be cited as the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's a decree. Your voice has been silenced. So I'm bringing that to your attention. And I'll keep showing this as on every broadcast until as many of us get it. Now, let's go back to the main business of the day. In Sri Lanka, I want to watch this. This credit for this goes to Channel 4. And they talked about the Sri Lanka Prime Minister. He resigned as due to violent clashes in Colombo. I want you to watch it. Here we go. Again, it is by credit to Channels TV. Not Channels, for Channel 4. To Channel 4 for this broadcast. It's been aired across other platforms as well. Many of you all have seen it. But let's watch this. Here's what I am, and I will talk about this more. See that? So you see that? Now I'm going to mute the rest because the voice there, I don't want that to be. I want to just see. Look, that's people in Sri Lanka. See that? So that is in Sri Lanka. Right there, that's in Sri Lanka. And what they've done, the Sri Lankan people come out in protest against their governance, in peaceful protest. Now the police came to attack them and it backfired. And ultimately, in fact, I'm going to play the whole thing. I'll play it. I'm going to play it. Let me go back again. see? Watch. You see? You see? You see that? You see? 70 people are injured. Can you see that? See that? You see that? Telegraph, actually, sorry. See that? So the Prime Minister had to resign. They used tear gas, cannon gas, everything against the people. So they told him to resign, and he had to resign. So that's by telegraph, by the way. Sorry. That's by telegraph. So let me go to...
Are you aged?
Sorry about that. Sorry, no, this is the one I want you to see. I think this is the one. Sorry about that. Yes. So now, this is by Channel 4 News. Channel 4 News in the UK. So I want to just talk about this, and I'll go about the first thing I showed you before again. We will keep hammering that home. What you have is not a constitution. It's a schedule to a promulgation decree. They say so is the document.
The moment the police line broke turned out to be the moment that spelled the end for the Prime Minister. But ironically, these were pro-government supporters charging police lines to get at a peaceful protest camp set up weeks ago by those, and there are many, fed up with the huge hike here in energy and food prices.
So they attacked this, but the people...
The pro-government mob armed with clubs set about the protest tents.
This is what they're doing, you know. Despite this this mob coming to attack the peaceful protest, the government had to resign. What I'm saying is that we mustn't allow this to stop us. It didn't stop them in Sri Lanka. We mustn't allow it to stop us, because there will be government people who will be sent out when we protest to come and attack us. We must not relent. We must not relent. This is exactly what happened in Sri Lanka. And yet the Prime Minister, in the end, had to leave. He had to resign and go. And we need to put pressure. That's what we're saying. The same thing they did. The people who you see in this camp here, they were peaceful. These were the violent ones. Listen to it.
And those camped there. By the end of the...
He resigns. The Prime Minister resigned live on TV. Now, the only way we can get this to happen is for us to speak up. We want to break up contact with Nigeria. What I'm saying here is not so much whether or not Buhari resigns. We're not interested in resigning. What we are doing is we need to make sure that we say no to 2023 elections. And we in the Middle Belt, in the South, in Middle Belt and South, need to stand together. Stand together and defeat these people, come what may. In the face of the oppression, we need to speak up. Because the only thing we have left that we have is our voice, our voices. This man had to resign. Watch now.
Today, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa had handed his resignation to the President, his brother. He claims he'll work now with a unity government acting constitutionally. Some doubt the Rajapaksa political dynasty is much good at that.
There's also a fear that the state may abuse.
You see, the people have rebelled. They've now made it a family business. So let's listen to this.
Use its emergency powers. We're currently under a state of emergency, and that it may deploy indiscriminate force or disproportionate force on Sri Lanka's civilian population.
Later in the day, the home of an MP who led those violent pro-government protests was set on fire.
You see, the man who led the pro-government protest, they set his home on fire in Sri Lanka. I'm just saying what happened though. You make it of it what you will. I'm only stating what happened. I'm not inciting anything. I'm stating that we have the right to peaceful rally and to go for self-determination. We cannot wait anymore. In Sri Lanka, they're not waiting. And despite the fact that they know the government may try to use emergency powers to oppress them, they are speaking up. The time has come for us as Middle Belters, as Southerners, to speak up. We need to speak up. We need to stand our ground. Because that land, the Fulani want to take our land. That is what I'm here to tell you. And of course, you're justified because you know that the Constitution is a fraud. I've just shown you. Now let's listen on.
So to the homes of at least 2 more government ministers and ruling party.
You see, 2 more government ministers and ruling parties have had their homes set on fire in Sri Lanka.
MPs. And targets are widening.
You see? Look. See that?
The opposition leader, seconds away from being lynched. Somehow, his security detail gets him out of this, into the car, and away. Lamborghini cars belonging to a luxury hotel,
you see,
also set ablaze.
You see?
Sri Lanka is broken.
You see?
A wave of Islamist bombings 3 years ago detonated the country's vital tourism industry as well. Then came the COVID shutdown and, say critics, comprehensive economic mismanagement by the government. Foreign reserves dangerously low. The country can't pay for gas imports, is defaulting on foreign loans, and now going begging to the International Monetary Fund.
Food prices.
So food prices, the same
have
thing.
Been increasing year on year. Food inflation
prices. And our government, you see, we have the soil. The government of the day, one useless, whatever, House of Honorable, whatever they call it. He was saying, oh, the government should fund, give money to farmers to build, and the government is killing the farmers. They're not compensating the farmers, and that is why we are going. I'm telling you, we're not interested in one Nigeria anymore. One Nigeria is what? It's a fraud. I've just shown you the document. But let's listen to this. Let's listen to this. Sorry about this.
Close to 50%. Fuel is being rationed at petrol stations. There are shortages of gas, pharmaceuticals.
So for the Rajapaksa political dynasty, full-blown crisis. For Sri Lankans, real peril. Scores injured today. One shot dead by an MP, who then shot himself. Pushing a ministerial car into a lake.
You see that? Let me post it there. That's a ministerial car that was put in a lake. That is a Let me go back again. I want to show you that. Look at that. Watch. In Sri Lanka.
Pushing a ministerial car into a lake.
You see that? And then
the Prime Minister's private home burned down.
The Prime Minister's private home burnt down. This is in Sri Lanka. This is in Sri Lanka. They're suffering. They are taking their own collective action. Make of that what you will. But what I'm saying is that the people are no longer silent. We must go for self-determination, is what I'm saying. I'm not condoning anything that you see there. You make your mind up. But I'm bringing it to our attention, what they are doing in Sri Lanka to free themselves from bondage, because they're in bondage just like we are. In contrast to Nigeria, we are in bondage. Let's listen on.
Smashing the gates at his official residence.
They are smashing the gates of the official residence. You see that?
Any new government must now offer more than curfew and another state of emergency. Much, much more.
So that was Channel 4. So I want to just go back to one area that I want to look at. A ministerial car was upended into the sea, because this is what they've seen. They've seen enough. They've had enough.
Sri Lanka is broken.
See?
A wave of Islamist bombings 3 years ago detonated the country's vital tourism industry.
Sorry, not that one. Sorry. So tourists, you see? No, let me. Where is it? Where is it? Sorry. I'll get there.
The country can't pay for gas imports. And away. Lamborghini cars belonging to a luxury hotel, also set ablaze. Sri Lanka is broken. A wave of Islamist bombings 3 years ago detonated the country's vital tourism industry as well. Then came the COVID shutdown and, say critics, comprehensive economic mismanagement by the government. Foreign reserves dangerously low. The country can't pay for gas imports, is defaulting on foreign loans, and now going begging to the International Monetary Fund.
Food prices have been increasing year on year. Food inflation is close to 50%. Fuel is being rationed at petrol stations. There are shortages of gas, pharmaceuticals.
So for the
same thing in Nigeria, fuel prices are up, shortages of food, people are suffering, and Sri Lankans are taking collective action. Now, let's watch from the beginning again, because I want you to understand all of this. Watch this from the beginning again.
The moment the police line broke turned out to be the moment that spelled the end for the Prime Minister. But ironically, these were pro-government supporters charging police lines to get at a peaceful protest camp set up weeks ago by those, and there are many, fed up with the huge hike here in energy and food prices. The pro-government mob, armed with clubs, set about the protest tents and those camped there.
You see, it is important to know that these were the pro-government people that were attacking the peaceful people. And in the end, what happened? They got chased away. We need to do the same thing. We have to go out and make our protest known and take collective action together. We have to. We will be confronted by the crooks. But just like in Sri Lanka, I believe that the people will speak up. Just like they did in Sri Lanka, the people spoke, and those who were in power had to leave. And what we want is not just leaving. We in our community, like I said, we are not waiting for anybody. We do not care about waiting for this fraudulent governance to set up any referendum for us. We are doing that process ourselves. They need to stay out of our way. We are going our own separate way. The Fulanis can keep the name Nigeria in country of Nigeria, in the north, if they want. But we, as Middle Belters and Southerners, we are going. And that is what you see now. These are the thugs. And then suddenly, the people came out and spoke up. You have the right to self-determination, is what I'm telling you. You have the right to self-determination.
By the end of the day, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa had handed his resignation to the president, his brother.
You see?
He claims he'll work now with a unity government acting constitutionally.
Watch what the people are
Some
doing
doubt the Rajapaksa political dynasty is much good at that.
There's also a fear that the state may abuse its emergency powers. We're currently under a state of emergency, and that it may deploy indiscriminate force or disproportionate force on Sri Lanka's civilian population.
Later in the day, the home of an MP who led those violent pro-government protests was set on fire. So too the homes of at least 2 more government ministers and ruling party MPs. And targets are widening. The opposition leader, seconds away from being lynched. Somehow, his security detail gets him out of this, into the car, and away.
See that?
Lamborghini cars belonging to a luxury hotel also set ablaze. Sri Lanka is broken. A wave of Islamist bombings 3 years ago detonated the country's vital tourism industry as well. Then came the COVID shutdown and, say critics, comprehensive economic mismanagement by the government. Foreign reserves dangerously low. The country can't pay for gas imports, is defaulting on foreign loans, and now going begging to the International Monetary Fund.
Food prices have been increasing year on year. Food inflation is close to 50%. Fuel is being rationed at petrol stations. There are shortages of gas, pharmaceuticals.
So for the Rajapaksa political dynasty, full-blown crisis. For Sri Lankans, real peril. Scores injured today. One shot dead by an MP, who then shot himself.
You see?
Pushing a ministerial car into a lake.
See that? Let me play that bit again.
Who then shot himself. Pushing a ministerial car into a lake.
Ministerial car.
The Prime Minister's private home burned.
That's the Prime Minister's private home burnt in Sri Lanka.
Burned down. Smashing the gates at his official residence.
They are smashing the gates of his official residence. You see? It's time for
Any
us
new
to go for
government
self-determination.
must now offer more than curfew and another state of emergency. Much, much more.
So now, right now, so I want you all to the reason I'm showing you that. So now let me go and show you one of the reasons why I'm coming here. I want you to listen to this. So I'm going to just play this quickly. I want you to listen to Katrina Ling. Look, I want you to know that Katrina Ling is the Governor General of Contractor Nigeria. Katrina Ling is the Governor General. Let me show you what I mean. I'm actually going to go into that. Because it's important to bring context is everything. When you get the right context, you get the message gets delivered succinctly to the point, and it makes it very, very clear. I'd love to have more time to be able to do what I'm trying to do, to explain what's happening here. But I'm going to try and quickly show you a picture, which you'd have seen before. Many of you would have seen me share it. But I want to put it because it's important to understand the fraud that's going on. 1 second, please. Is that it here? 1 second. I'm trying to locate it. No, that's not it. Sorry about this. We're working to just get you this information. So it's important that when we explain this, that the context is very, very clear, and it's unambiguous. It is very, very to the point, and that is why I am very, very keen for this message to get out there again. 1 second, please. Here we go. That's it. Now, you will see it come up in a second. It's because I want you, once you understand the context, because if I'm saying it, it won't make sense. But once you see this picture, what I'm saying about her will make sense. She is the Governor General of Contractor Nigeria. All those people, the Fulanis, they are just proxies. Listen to this. Let me show you. Katrina Lane is her name. There you go. Now let's go here. So you will see come up in a minute. And I just want you to have that. I know it's a bit rushed. I'm going to come back again later on. I do apologize, but I wanted to get this out because it's important. Here we go. Now, you will see this. Right, that's what I want you to remember in all of this. You see, in 1914, you had Frederick Lugard. He is no lord to me. We don't call him a lord. That's for them to do. If that's what they want to call him in the UK, they can call him that. But we, on who we were oppressed in our land, we call him Frederick Lugard. He's Frederick. That's it. We're not interested in all that. To heap name on somebody that has come and oppressed you in your land, you need to get that right. You have to stop all that nonsense. Now, he was made Governor General of Contractor Nigeria, 1914 to 1919. And look at the date when she took over. Look at the date when she took over. I want you to look at that date. She took over. Let me make it smaller so you can see it, because I want you to see it. She took over when? She took over 2014 to date. Yeah? Very important to remember that. Very, very important. And I want us to really hone in on that, to know that she took over from 2014 to date. So I will share it again later on. So very, very important that we are aware of this kind of information. So what? So 1 second, please. Okay, good. Now, I wanted to just show you that. So now you know what I mean. Governor General in 1914 was Frederick Lugard. When the 100-year lease came up on Contractor Nigeria, and they brought her in, she came in on 2014, in the year when that lease ended. So you can see that we are still to date being ruled. So I'm giving you the evidence. So there is no unbroken control. There has been no unbroken control of Contractor Nigeria by the UK. That's the clearest evidence. You can see it on the picture. Check it. These are the things. 1914 to 1999 and 2014 to date. So 2014, yeah, to 2020, 6 years. 6 years and now 2022, 8 years. She's been there 8 years. He's been there, he was there 5 years. You see? So I want us to be aware of that now. So now let's now go ahead and now play the video of where she talks. Hear what she has to say. Listen to this.
She's been High Commissioner since 2018.
No, it's not. It's 2014. 2014.
To Nigeria, Catriona Liane. She's been High Commissioner since 2018 and has been part of several election monitoring campaigns and peace treaty commissions. We speak with her on her thoughts about the coming elections, the state of the nation.
You see, coming elections, we don't want, it's a fraud. I told you. Remember, I told you the constitution is a fraud. INEC is a fraud. We don't have a constitution. What we have is a decree. It is a military decree, and they are hiding it from you. It is a schedule. What you call a constitution is a schedule to a decree. Get it right. It is a schedule to a decree. I've given you the evidence. Let's listen on.
And what kind of president Nigeria needs currently in her history?
See the nonsense. Watch it.
Your Excellency, welcome to Dateline Abuja.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
How long? You've lived in Abuja now for about 5 years.
Not quite. I'm in my 4th year. So our postings are 3 years plus 1. And I always knew I would take the 4th year because I wanted to stay for the second round of elections. I arrived just before the...
You see, she wants to be here second round of elections. She wants to make sure that an election takes place in a fraudulent nation. Why is it a fraudulent nation, you may ask? Let me remind you. What you're looking at is a schedule to promulgation decree number 24 of 1999. Let me make it smaller again. I want you to see that. A schedule. I'll put it up here. Let me see if I can put it up. Can I make it go up there? I want to make it go up there. I want you to see that. When she's talking, I'm going to try and put it up there to remind you that when she's talking about the democracy, we're not. Because that's what we have. So let's listen to what as you're watching, I'm going to play this one. Now let's go here. Sorry about this. It'll come back up. Don't worry. But it looks like my system is being messed with now. I don't know what's going on there. Hang on. Sorry about this.
Round of elections. I arrived just before the 2018 elections, and I'll be here for the 2023 elections.
There have been a lot of people who've had one opinion or the other about the caliber of candidates that we're seeing coming out for the elections. Do you have any thoughts on that? These names that keep popping up for, you know, asking for the tickets from their parties, are these the men for the job? I think that's the resounding question in the minds of
one disappointing thing, as you mentioned, men.
Book local jobs with Google's.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I want to mute that. I don't want that there. So now let me just do here. So 1 second, please. I got to take that away now because I didn't want that to be there. So 1 second, please. Give me a minute. So let me just do. It'll do what it needs to do, but I'm going to move it. Sorry about that. I'm going to have to do it another way anyway. Don't worry. I've got it another way. I'll get another way. Skip. Okay. And let's go back again. Sorry about that. I'm trying to make sure that it doesn't show up. Now.
Ensure that I meet all of them and will give the same messages to all of them. You have an important role to play as a candidate in ensuring security, ensuring the logistics work, and in setting out your good vision for the country.
I mean, you've been living in Nigeria, so you are privy to a lot of the challenges that Nigerians are facing. What sort of president do you think we need come 2023? What kind of president will be sufficient, will be
you see the nonsense we're talking about?
Oh, hopefully, women.
Mostly men. What kind of president do you think Nigerians need in the next elections? What kind of president should we be having?
Well, there's a few characteristics that I think personally are going to be important, and what Nigerians, more importantly, tell me are important. One is being somebody who can unify the country, but there are challenges. You know, there are north-south divides, religious issues, ethnicity can come into play. And the politicians can play those well, and they can play them badly. So I think a candidate who can unite Nigeria and show the strength in its diversity.
So have there been any Nigerians who have violated these treaties or, like you said, deliberately caused violence during elections, who have actually been subject to a travel ban by the UK?
So, as I mentioned, we always put out a statement in advance that we will potentially use our visa lever, as you said, a travel ban for people who either deliberately incite violence or commit violence. We have used visa bans in the past, but of course we don't talk about individual cases. We can't do this. The whole idea of this is to act as a deterrent. For people to know that this could be the consequence of their actions.
I mean, I understand why you don't want to tell us their names, but it'll be nice to know who they are. That might put more fear.
Well,
it might deter more people if they're named and shamed.
No, we don't name and shame. We would never do that. But as I said, we have been prepared to take these actions in the past, and we will do so again. So it's a deterrent, as I mentioned, and our American colleagues do the same. And given that Nigerians often, those are the two countries that will often be where they want to travel, where their kids are at school or in university. So, it's a very effective lever, and we are prepared to use it.
I remember reading recently that President Muhammadu Buhari had invited diplomats for a dinner.
Iftar dinner, yes.
At Iftar, for Iftar, and he had talked a bit about meddling in Nigeria's politics. Could you talk to us a bit about that, and what does that mean?
Well, I think it's back to your first question, and I have absolutely no objection to what he said. I completely agree. This is, Nigeria's elections are for Nigeria. I make a distinction between the practical support we provide, and I think what the president means is that we shouldn't be picking individual candidates. We shouldn't be interfering in that sense in biasing towards one or another, north, south. That's for Nigeria to decide, and I completely agree with his point, and I hope we're not seen to be meddling, but providing a critical friend role, providing some practical support, providing some monitoring, because it's very important for Nigeria in the eyes of the world to have seen to have had a credible election. That will really help the incoming candidate to hit the ground running if people see that this was a credible election. And our eyes on it are designed to be helpful and also to make recommendations where we think things can improve, because there's always room for improvement.
Let's talk a bit about security, because Kaduna is just around the corner, and of course we're all reeling from that train attack.
Yes,
and there's security updates every day. Every day they tell us, be careful about this, be careful about that. What could we be doing differently?
Well, Nigeria is facing such multifaceted security problems. I don't think there's any country in the world who's got bigger challenges on security. In the three and nearly half years I've been here, I've seen a deterioration, sadly. So obviously you've got the terrorism in the northeast, you've got ungoverned space in the northwest, and so on, middle belt challenges. I think what I observe is that one of the things that's changed, the economic shock of COVID, threw millions and millions of people into poverty, including a lot of young men who were probably just about making a living, who unfortunately have now turned to a life of crime. So with security, you have to deal with the immediate issues, but also the underlying drivers of the problem. And my personal view is the economic issues are really fundamental to that, and I think the VP and others would share that view. Certainly Amina Mohammed, when she visited recently, was very much in that view. So jobs, livelihood, growth will be one way of tackling some of the insecurity. We've been long-standing supporters of tackling Nigeria's security problems. We have military personnel here training, but we're also working to try and support governance structures to help the governor of Borno rebuild areas of his state to create an alternative offer to the people. So we need to work on all fronts, a comprehensive approach. But I think Nigeria is moving in the right direction. It's incredibly challenging. It requires strong leadership, strong military leadership. But I've been encouraged in the last year or so to...
So let me just go back here, sorry.
Providing some practical support, providing some monitoring, because it's very important for Nigeria in the eyes of the world to have seen to have had a credible election. That will really help the incoming candidate to hit the ground running if people see that this was a credible...
We don't want elections. Get it right. We don't want elections. We don't want your meddling. UK, the colonial government can go and do that somewhere else. We, as the people, it's our right to self-determination. And that fraudulent document is why we want there will be no free or fair elections, because that document, the same document, is what they use, which is a schedule. What you are looking at is not a constitution but a schedule. Our voices has not. When you put a proposal before the people and they vote on it and then they accept it, that is when it becomes a constitution. What you have is a proposal, and it remains a proposal, and it's actually now when it's because it's enforced on us, it's actually a decree, and the document states to itself. It says Promulgation Decree number 24 of 1999, and that's what I'm putting before you. Let's listen on. Sorry. It's very, very slow. I don't know what's going there, but hopefully it'll come up soon. A minute.
That will really help the incoming candidate to hit the ground running if people see that this was a credible election. And our eyes on it are designed to be helpful and also to make recommendations where we think things can improve, because there's always room for improvement.
Let's talk a bit about security, because Kaduna is just around the corner, and of course we're all reeling from that train attack.
Yes,
and you know, there's security updates every day. Every day they tell us, be careful about this, be careful about that. What could we be doing differently?
Well, Nigeria is facing such multifaceted security problems. I don't think there's any country in the world who's got bigger challenges on security. In the three and nearly half years I've been here, I've seen a deterioration, sadly. So obviously you've got the terrorism in the northeast, you've got ungoverned space in the northwest, and so on, middle belt challenges. I think what I observe is that one of the things that's changed, the economic shock of COVID threw millions and millions of people into poverty, including a lot of young men who were probably just about making a living, who unfortunately have now turned to a life of crime. So with security, you have to deal with the immediate issues, but also the underlying drivers of the problem. And my personal view is the economic issues are really fundamental to that, and I think the VP and others would share that view. Certainly Amina Mohammed, when she visited recently, was very much in that view. So, John...
You know what? I'm actually I don't want to hear anything else he has to say. I just wanted to bring this to your attention, because it's very important we understand what levers are being pulled here. And I want to restate. I'm going to go back to what I showed you before. I'm going to stop listening to. I don't want to listen to anything else he has to say, because all of you here is to do is what I've showed you. If in a nutshell, she says she's been there 2014. There's a document that I have that shows that she's been there since she was there 2018. She's been there since 2014, like I said. So let me see if I can find that document again. Bring that to your attention. Yeah, you'll see it come up in a minute. So that is what you have. She's been there since 2014 to date. I've got information on that, and I stand by that. I stand by that. Not 2018. So it's trying to sort of, minimize it. No, since 2014. Very important. Now, like I said, the next thing I want to show you is this thing I showed you earlier on. Let's see if I can find the other one. 1 second. Where is it? 1 minute. Okay, so what I want to show you is that one. I want you to know that that's a fraud. That is what you're seeing, is this fraud. It says promulgation decree on it. It says promulgation decree. So it's not me saying it. Let me just show. You see, it says, let me see. I want to make sure I know you see what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to. You see, it says there. Let me just try and get in there. See? Promulgation decree. Let me go and zoom in a bit more. Federal Republic of Nigeria, promulgation decree number 24 of 1999. That's what you see. So I'm just going to remind you. But when you then go and look at the document itself, it hides it. It hides the fact that it's a promulgation decree. It says Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. And here's why they hid it. I'm just going to reiterate this. I need to wrap up in a bit, then I'll be back later on. Then the bit that I want you to see is this bit here. The bit where they hid it. They give themselves the power to hide their corrupt lies. They gave themselves the power to hide it. So let me show you exactly how they hid it. It says here, it shall be necessary for, wherever it may be necessary for the Constitution to be printed, for the schedule. It should be the schedule to be printed. It shall be lawful for the federal government printer to omit all parts of this decree, apart from the schedule. So they even call it a schedule themselves. So it's not me calling it a schedule. Apart from, let me just move forward. I'm sorry. Apart from the schedule. So they call it, so you see there's a justification of saying it's a schedule. You see, that's the evidence I'm giving you. I am giving you clear evidence that what you are holding, this document should be known as, from henceforth, a schedule. Because it said so here. It said schedule, so it should be schedule. It's not a constitution. It is a fraud. It is not a constitution. It's a fraud. Schedules, it says there, and it should be a schedule. This is information that is very important. Our people need to know this to take steps to break down that contraption. It is a fraud all day. It is a fraud all day. Schedule, apart from the schedule, as so printed, shall have the same force of law, notwithstanding the omission. So once now, because they omitted it now, they say it has the same force. It's a decree. It's a decree that we have no part in. We need to say no to it. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. What I need to do now is I need to wrap up here very briefly. I'll be back later on with a bit more detail. But this is what I will be showing you on a regular basis. I've just shown you that document that you see here is not what the paper written on. It says Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's a lie. This is what you should say. I'm going to put it next to it. In fact, I should do this. I should do this. This is what should happen. So I want you to make sure. You see, that is what you should see. That is exactly what it is right there. You see, Federal Republic of Nigeria schedule to the promulgation decree number 24 of 1999. And where is the schedule? The schedule is, of course, this one. So you can, and it says so, schedule and the constitution. You see, apart from the schedule, and the schedule as so printed shall have the same force of law, notwithstanding the omission. So they are, call it what it is, a schedule. Very important we understand that. So I'm bringing that to your attention. Please, let's continue to raise the level of awareness. This is a fraud that's been perfected on us all. I will be back later on to give more updates, but I wanted to show this. This, what you're seeing, I want you to be clear in your mind. Federal Republic of Nigeria scheduled to promulgation decree number 24 of 1999 by way of this fraudulent document. That document here should say, this is how we should read, wherever it may hereafter be necessary for the schedule to be printed, it shall be lawful for the federal government to omit all part of this decree apart from the schedule. And the schedule as so printed shall have the force of law, notwithstanding the omission. Now, if they did that, people would rise up. That's why they don't want us to have copies of this document. Our people need to have this in writing in our local language. I'm going to translate this in broken English. I'm going to do it. I've done it in broken English before. I'm going to do it in Yoruba. I'm going to, and make people aware of this fraud. This is a massive, huge fraud. We say no to 2023 elections. What you consider a constitution is nothing more than a schedule to a promulgation decree. So I hope that makes things clear. Ladies and gentlemen, only for time purposes, I need to rush off now. I'll be back later on. I'll give you some more updates as and when things develop. There are issues. I mean, did you see the issue about Jonathan now running? There are over 28 APC aspirants. 28. A fast. Ahmed Lawan, the Fulani man, is also going to run. This is a joke. It's time we break it up. Please, we do not need the approval. We don't need the approval of the corrupt federal government to go for a referendum. We must organize the referendum in our own communities ourselves. It is time to stand up. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of it can stop at the time. How long must they kill our prophets? I once we stand aside and look, whoa. Some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing this song of freedom is all I ever hear. Oh yeah, redemption song. This song of freedom is all I ever hear. Oh yeah, redemption song. This song of freedom is all I ever hear. Oh yeah, yeah, redemption We must free ourselves. We must organize ourselves. Freedom is never given. It must be taken. The Sri Lankans are speaking out loud and clear. Are we going to speak up loud and clear? That is the question. That is what remains to be seen. I repeat, the Sri Lankans, they are speaking loud and clear. The question is, are we going to speak loud and clear? That remains to be seen. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'll restream this later on Facebook. Please do share. Don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. I truly appreciate you. Please share. Subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube, and also please join as you can join as a member on YouTube, and we'll still be doing our programs very much the same, but the members will be enjoying certain other things that we'll be doing within that. But the message is this: we will continue to speak truth to power on Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power, and we need your support. How can you support us? By subscribing to us on YouTube, becoming a member, joining the various membership plans that we have on Citizen AY, and of course help us by switching on your notification buttons on Facebook. There's been a massive plan to keep reducing our numbers on Facebook, but we're not going to be deterred by that. We will continue and go forward for self-determination. So I want to thank you all for joining me. Please, this broadcast is very important. Do share it. Look at what you are looking on the screen. They tell you that it is a constitution. But I'm here to tell you it is not a constitution. It's a fraud. And here is the fraud. So let me just show you that. They say to you, that's your constitution. It is not. It's a promulgation decree. And it's important we explain that and understand. It says here, Federal Republic of Nigeria scheduled to promulgation decree number 24 of 1999. It's not me who said it. It's in their document. Their own document is what I'm using. Wherever it may hereafter be necessary for the schedule, there I should put a line, schedule to be printed. It shall be lawful for the federal government to omit all part of this decree apart from the schedule. You see, that's the schedule. They said it in there. And the schedule so printed shall have the force of law, notwithstanding the obligation. It's the greatest fraud going. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. If you haven't subscribed to Citizen AY on YouTube, please go ahead and do so now. I'll be back later on. I've got to do one of a few things. So in the next 3-4 hours, I'm probably not be able to reply to questions and suggestions and plans. I'm going to be doing something. And when I come back out of that, then we can then come and have more discussions. Thank you for joining. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Don't forget, go ahead, subscribe to Citizen AY. Hit the notification button. Finally, give us a thumbs up. Help us spread the message. What you have is a fraudulent governance because they have a decree that they are lying to you about and call it a constitution. It's a military decree. There is no seal of approval. What should have been done is the schedule, and there should have been a proposal that we propose to have governance. What do you say? Once we voted on it, had we said yes, that would have been the seal of approval for that constitution to come into force upon us. But they did not wait. They said they wrote this constitution on the 5th day of May, and by the 29th of May, 1999, they imposed it on us without a referendum. And that is the fraud right there. We need to break it up. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. When you get this broadcast, please share it if it resonates with you. I just want to show you again, that is what it is. What you see as a document, have that in your mind. You see, it says Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's not. It is Federal Republic of Nigeria schedule, not a constitution, schedule. So there you have it. Thank you for watching. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Please go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube and also join as members. Thank you so much and goodbye. Bye for now.